Hello there. Today we're going to talk about how to complete an application. We're going to walk you through some ways to do a college application as well as a job application.
All right, so first we're going to show you the McHenry County college application. So here's the website, and if we go to the website, it brings us to their homepage, and we can apply for admissions. And click there.
And then you're going to see a bunch of different options. I would go to first-time student at MCC. And I would make sure to read all of these directions. You'll notice that you'll have to pay for submitting this application, which is pretty normal for most college applications, but you can save it along the way. So even if you don't have money right now, then just go ahead and start it and you can come back later. It also is giving you a list of things that you need to do. It's not just an application. You have to do all these different steps, so keep that in mind as you apply.
So it brings us to this application page where you have to log in. So this is where you would create a login and password. And it says not registered yet, create an account. That's where you would go. And that's why you were able to save it. So if you get stuck along the way, you don't know something to fill out, or you don't have that information, you can save it and then come back to it by logging in again.
So that's how you get started. Once you get in, it's going to ask you just very general questions about your name, your address, all that good stuff. And feel free to fill out that application with your Access teacher or with your family so they can help you with some of those difficult questions. And I know we're just showing you MCC, but most applications follow the same process. All right, so we just want to give you some tips. So make sure you read every single instruction. This isn't meant to be done in one sitting sometimes, so take your time with it and don't rush.
Yeah. Know your deadline. So if an application is due at a certain point, or if there's different parts of the application that are due, make sure that you know when those dates are so that it's on time.
Be very honest. They might ask you some questions about your beliefs or your achievement in high school. Don't lie about anything, but make sure that you put your best self forward. Make yourself look good.
And proofread. So make sure there are no spelling errors, no grammatical errors. Make sure that things that need to be capitalized are capitalized, like your name. So those are just little things that college admissions, they look for.
And like we said before, you will have to pay usually at the end, so make sure you have a credit card handy to submit that application fee.
The next thing that we're going to show are some job applications, how to find job applications and then how to fill those out. So we're going to go to this first one. Snagajob.com is a good way to find jobs. So you would put in your zip code right here and then search.
And then a bunch of options will pull up. You can browse which ones you're interested in. Let's just go to the first one, Miss Justine, and look at TJ Maxx, see what's going on there. So if you click on this, it will give you a rundown of what is entitled or in what you need to do for the job. So scroll down a little bit. This is what you'll be asked to do. So if it doesn't sound like something that you want to do, don't bother doing the job application. Make sure you read this information. And then if it's something that you're interested in, hit apply now. And just like with the college application, this is kind of having you create a profile so that way you can save it and come back. So once you do this, you will be able to fill out their application.
And the other one, we just want to show you an application on Panera. So you could use Snagajob to look for a job that's open, and then once you know, you can go to that company's website, and sometimes that's easy just to apply right on their website. And so we can see the different careers. Let's say I'm just going to pick one here that I want to do. Again, there's a description. Make sure you read the description. A lot of times in job interviews, something from the description might come up, so it's good to know what you're expected to do. And then down at the bottom, once you read all that, here you can click on apply. And again, when you can go apply online, and you'll have to create another username and password. But once you do that, you can go in and log in and then again save as needed.
So while you're in the process of applying for all of these jobs or colleges, make sure, I would recommend you use the same login and password for every single one. So that way you're not frustrated when you're trying to get in something that you've spent a lot of time on. So a couple of tips for when you're filling out job applications, very similar to college applications, you must be honest. You're eventually going to be sitting down with a manager, and you don't want to have them ask you about your application and you're all flustered because that wasn't actually the truth. So be honest, but also know what they might want to hear. They're going to want to hear that you're a hard worker, that you're on time. If that is true about you, then make sure you include all those things.
Always follow up with a phone call. A lot of these applications you're filling out online and you don't meet somebody face to face, so they don't remember you. So it's good to call and say who you are, that you filled out an application on what day, and that you're interested in the job, and if they have any further information for you.
And then focus on your strengths. A lot of times applications might ask you, what are your weaknesses? So even make your weaknesses a strength. Like sometimes I work so hard that I get really tired or something like that. So just make sure you know your audience.
All right, so for our assignment this week, you're going to be creating a blog post titled Tips for Application. So we want you to start making a list of 3 tips if you were going to tell somebody how to fill out an application and what would be useful for them to know and to do.
And then after you complete that blog post, we want you to start filling out one of those applications. It could be a college application or a job application, either one. But we want you to tell us about that in your blog post. If you've already filled out a bunch of college applications at this point, or you have a job, then maybe just tell us about what that process was like for you.
Yeah, let us know if you need help.